Cats and dogs sometimes like to nibble on something green. Why do they do this, and what plants should their owners be particularly cautious of? Find out more in today's video. Your beloved companion is certainly not a cow, so you might be puzzled when you see a dog or cat eating grass or nibbling on flowers. You might even worry. Is it hungry? Bored? Sick? Will eating grass harm it? First, you can be sure that you're not the only person asking this question, especially if your pet starts vomiting right after such a meal, which often happens. In the wild, animals like to nibble on young plants or grass, sometimes to get additional nutrients or fiber, sometimes for taste or even out of boredom. Cats like to nibble on flowers, especially if their leaves are moved in our homes by the wind. Even on a healthy, balanced diet, cats can benefit from grass, thereby speeding up the digestion process due to its fiber content. If your cat eats a lot of grass, it may be lacking fiber in its diet. Remember that domestic cats spend about 60% of their day grooming, which makes them prone to forming hairballs. Eating grass can help in digestion and coughing up hairballs. Dogs eating grass is actually quite a common sight, also observed in wild dogs. They most often nibble on regular grass and usually don't show interest in other plants. Usually, this doesn't cause any problems for dogs. However, it should be noted that many communal lawns are sprayed with chemicals, for example, against weeds, mosquitoes, or ticks. Furthermore, grass is a popular breeding ground for intestinal parasites that can threaten your pet's health. While grass is relatively harmless, attention should be paid to plants we keep in homes, on balconies, or in gardens. The Animal Poison Control Center has compiled a list of plants that pose a particular threat to their health. Lilies. Members of the entire lily family are considered highly toxic to cats. Even the consumption of very small amounts of the plant can cause serious kidney damage. Marijuana. Consumption of cannabis sativa by animals can result in damage to the central nervous system and coordination problems, as well as vomiting, diarrhea, drooling, accelerated heart action, and even seizures and coma. Sago Palm. All parts of this palm are poisonous, but the seeds and cones contain the highest amount of toxins. Swallowing just 1 or 2 seeds can cause very serious effects, such as vomiting, diarrhea, depression, seizures, and liver failure. Tulip narcissus bulbs. The bulb parts of tulips and daffodils contain toxins that can cause intense irritation of the gastrointestinal tract, drooling, loss of appetite, depression of the central nervous system, convulsions, and heart disorders. Rhododendron, also known as azalea, contains substances known as gray anotoxins, which can cause vomiting, drooling, diarrhea, weakness, and damage to the central nervous system in animals. Severe azalea poisoning can ultimately lead to coma and death due to cardiovascular collapse. Interestingly, symptoms of poisoning with this toxin among humans, so-called mad honey disease, occur when we consume honey from rhododendron flowers. Common oleander. All parts of oleanders are considered toxic because they contain cardiac glycosides, which can cause serious effects such as gastrointestinal irritation, heart disorders, hypothermia, and even death. Castor bean seeds. Castor bean belongs to the spurge family. Its seeds contain ricin, deadly to humans in doses above 0.2 grams or about 3 seeds. In animals, it can cause severe abdominal pain, drooling, vomiting, diarrhea, excessive thirst, weakness, and loss of appetite. Severe cases of poisoning can cause dehydration, muscle tremors, seizures, coma, and death. Alpine Violet. Alpine Violet contains cyclamine, but the highest concentration of this toxic ingredient is usually in the root part of the plant. Consumption of cyclamin can cause significant irritation of the gastrointestinal tract, including intense vomiting. It is highly toxic to humans and animals. Kalanchoe. This plant contains ingredients that can cause gastrointestinal irritation, as well as those toxic to the heart and can seriously affect the heart's rhythm and rate. U. U contains a toxic component known as taxine, which causes adverse effects on the central nervous system, such as trembling, coordination problems, and breathing difficulties. It can also cause severe gastrointestinal irritation and heart failure, which can lead to death. Interestingly, taxine is used, among other things, in chemotherapy. Amaryllis. Amaryllis is associated by many people with a popular plant, especially during Easter. Amaryllis contains toxins that can cause vomiting, depression, diarrhea, abdominal pain, excessive drooling, anorexia, and trembling. Autumn Crocus. Consumption of even a small amount by pets can cause oral cavity irritation, bloody vomiting, diarrhea, shock, multi-organ damage, and bone marrow suppression. Chrysanthemum. These popular flowers belong to the Asteraceae family, which contains pyrethrins. Upon consumption, they can cause gastrointestinal disorders, including drooling, vomiting, and diarrhea. In some cases, loss of coordination and lethargy may also occur. English ivy. Ivy and its varieties contain triterpenoid saponins, which, if consumed by pets, can cause vomiting, abdominal pain, excessive drooling, and diarrhea. Peace lily. Peace lily contains calcium oxalate crystals, which can cause irritation of the oral cavity, excessive drooling, vomiting, difficulty swallowing, and intense burning, and irritation of the mouth, lips, and tongue in animals that swallow them. Philodendron. Both Syndapsus and Epipremnum belong to the Araceae family. If chewed or consumed, this popular houseplant can cause significant irritation and swelling of the tissues of the oral cavity and other parts of the gastrointestinal tract. Schefflera. Schefflera contains calcium oxalate crystals, which can cause irritation of the oral cavity, excessive drooling, vomiting, difficulty swallowing, and intense burning, and irritation of the mouth, lips, and tongue in animals that swallow